So I've been running an autonomous AI agent for about 2 months now. His name is Cooper Tars. He manages my email, my calendar, my files, and so much more. He runs 24/7 on a dedicated Mac Mini, which is sitting right here at my desk. And up until now, the only way I could talk to him was through a screen, either through Telegram on my phone or through OpenClaw on the dashboard of the computer. But today, I'm giving him something different, a dedicated, secure walkie-talkie. This is the Rabbit R1 device, and in this video, I'm going to connect it directly to my AI agent so I can just talk to him out loud. Pick it up, press the button, and give it a command, just like a walkie-talkie to your AI. Now, before we actually get into the setup, I want to set expectations for what this actually is. Connecting the Rabbit R1 does not make Cooper Tars smarter. It doesn't add new capabilities. Think of it like this. If Cooper Tars were a really capable person that's sitting in another room, the Rabbit R1 is given basically a new way to reach him through a walkie-talkie. Same brain, same skills, just a new way to talk to him. Up until now, like I said before, I've been connecting through Cooper through Telegram on my phone. Also through the OpenClaw dashboard, which is sitting on my computer. So I literally have to log into my computer. But what the R1 adds is something different. A dedicated, physical, voice-first connection to the agent. So instead of opening an app and typing a message, I can just talk to Cooper directly through this device. And here's the best part, from basically anywhere. And honestly, that small change in how you interact with an agent starts to feel pretty powerful once it's working, which is what we're going to see in this video. But when you add a new communication channel into an AI system that has access to things like your email, your calendar, all kinds of important stuff, security matters. So in this video, we're not just going to connect it, we're going to take a look at exactly what the connection script does before we run anything. Because if you're given access to a new device, access to your AI agent, you should really understand what it's doing. And that's what we're going to walk through here in this video. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. First, I'll give you a quick tour of my current Cooper Tars setup, so you can see what we're actually working with here. That includes both the physical setup here on my desk, also the setup of the software inside the OpenClaw system. Then I'll walk through the connection process through the actual Rabbit R1 connection. And I'm not going to just show you run a command. I'm going to do something that you probably won't see in most other tutorials. Before running the script, we're going to open it and we actually review the script first, because to me security matters. When you're giving a new device access to your personal AI agent, that's very important. After the setup, I'll demo some real voice commands through the walkie-talkie so you can see what Cooper Tars actually does with them. This part is also very important to me. On this channel and on the Cooper Logs Substack, which I'll link below, I'm not interested in just talking about AI agents and systems. There's plenty of people doing that. I want to focus on what AI can actually do for you. So in future videos and in posts that you'll see on my Substack, you'll hear me talk a lot about use cases and the real world practicality of personal AI systems. And finally, I'll give you my honest take, the whole thing. I'll tell you everything I think about the system, what's genuinely useful, and what I think is just novelty. And whether turning the Rabbit R1 into a walkie-talkie for your AI is actually something worth building. And just to be clear, I'm not here to promote OpenClaw. I'm also not here to promote the Rabbit R1 device. The value of this channel, like I said before, is showing what personal AI agents like Cooper Tars, my personal agent, can actually do for you. All right, that's enough. Let's get into it now. Let's take a look. Besides this YouTube channel, I also write a Substack on a publication called The Cooper Logs. I'll link it below so you can check it out. A few months ago, I started this journey of personal AI agents, and I began building my own autonomous agent using an open source framework, which I've talked about before, called OpenClaw. Right now, Kubernetes, my agent, is connected through OpenClaw, is connected to my Google Workspace, connecting to things like Gmail, Calendar, Drive, and Contacts. He also handles tasks autonomously for me. He's not just telling me what to do, he's actually doing things, scheduling meetings, managing parts of my inbox, creating documents. And eventually I want to do a lot more than this, but before I start piling on more sophisticated use cases, I want to master three things first. Number one, architecture. I want to know how the system is built and how it works. Number two, security. I wanted to protect my data and my privacy. And number three, cost, because even though the framework is free, the API usage and tools, they actually cost money. I'm also a big fan of simplicity, so a big part of this journey is figuring out how to build the most practical setup possible. Which brings us back to the Rabbit R1, because now I can trigger all of that just using my voice through a dedicated device. Alright, let me show you the current setup. Let's take a look. Before I jump into the software side, let me quickly show you the physical setup behind all of this. So this right here is my command center. Nothing fancy, just essentials. Simple and practical. So let's get one thing straight. I'm not one of those people that have like 3 laptops running at the same time, switching between keyboards all day long. That's not me. My philosophy, I'm all about deep focus and digital flow. That's how I roll. Whatever I'm working on, I'm there 100%. If I'm working on my day job as a cybersecurity professional, I basically have my laptop right here connected to that docking station right there, which the docking station is connected to everything else that you see on this setup. So when I'm working on my day job, I'm focused on that role 100%. Zero distractions, just pure focus. But when it's time to work on content like I'm doing right now and experimenting with AI, this little guy right here takes over. This right here is my mini PC. This is basically my day-to-day workstation. And it's also what I use to connect to my Mac Mini, which I'll show you in a second. And the Mac Mini is where Kubernetes lives. I love the small form factor and simplicity of that PC. Now, don't get me wrong, that's actually a full-blown PC. That does everything I needed to do. I got the box right here. I wanted to show you. I picked this thing up on Amazon for like $260. And this is, like I said, it's a full-blown PC. Here's the specs. You see it has 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's got a 0.5 terabyte of storage. It runs Windows 11 Pro. It's a full-blown PC. It does everything I needed to do. And I'm pretty happy with it. What I love about this setup is that it's pretty simple. Now, here's the Mac Mini. Here's where everything runs for my agent. This is where Kubernetes lives. I love the setup. It's only 2 cables. I got the power cable here and the network cable. And everything else I do remotely from my workstation using Jump Desktop. Now, I only needed the monitor and the keyboard and the mouse. I only needed it connected during the initial setup. After that, everything happens remotely through Jump Desktop. But honestly, this thing is not even my computer. That machine belongs to my agent, Kubernetes. He's the primary user of that system. So there you have it. Here's my complete setup. Again, nothing fancy. And as you can see, I'm a big fan of simple, clean systems. And this setup right here works really well for me. This is all I need. All right, let's take a look at the software side of things now. Sorry, one more thing. Before I go into the software, I wanted to show you one more thing, which I didn't do during my last take here. So here's the cable for the docking station. It's an HP docking station. I normally, when I'm working on my laptop, on my day job, I usually just connect it to USB-C and it does all the power. But I want to show you how easy it is to switch between this laptop and my workstation. So basically, this cable is all I need to connect to this machine right here. I just connect it to this slot right here. And then it's got power. It's connected to the docking station. I just turn the power on. And voila. And it actually connects to the keyboard, the mouse, the 2 monitors, and it connects to the webcam, connects to my microphones there. And that's it. And it's actually booting up right now into Windows 11 Pro. I just want to show you how simple. This is also what I love about this setup. Is like when I'm done with my day job, I just unplug the cable, put my laptop away, connect it to my Mealy PC, and I boot it up to my Windows 11, and boom, there it is. Just connect real quick. You can't see my password. And that's my Windows 11 setup, which I used to pretty much create all my content, run my YouTube video, edit in. And this is the machine where I connect directly to my Mac Mini via Jump Desktop. That's it. All right, let's go into the software now. Okay, here we are now at my workstation. Again, this is just a standard workstation. It's where I mostly do all of my content creation, all my research work, all my creativity, now doing YouTube editing, editing videos, that sort of stuff. I mentioned this earlier, but just want to remind you again that I currently have two ways that I currently talk to my OpenClaw agent. The primary way that I communicate with Cooper Tars right now, my agent, is through Telegram. And this gets configured during the initial OpenClaw setup. It basically gives me a direct line to the agent from anywhere. I'm going to create a configuration video eventually on how to do this, but first I want to work through some of the kinks. I've been doing this for 45, 46 days now, and I'm still working through some of the kinks in the setup. Once I feel like I have a solid and secure setup, I will share that with you. So going back to the whole Telegram thing. So basically, I have a Telegram bot that talks directly with Cooper on the Mac Mini and can send commands directly to the agent in real time. I can access Telegram through my phone. I can access it through my iPad, my tablet, but I can also access it through my desktop, which is what I do mostly when I'm sitting in front of the desktop. So let me actually show you what this actually looks like in practice. So let's go over here to the screen. So as you see, I have Telegram set up on my desktop. I already have it open. So Telegram is like a chat window into my agent. It's not the actual AI. It's not a bot. It's just a communication channel. So I have it configured right now where it gives me daily checkups, daily reminders. It does one at 6 a.m. It does one at 12 p.m. noon, and it does another check-in at 6 p.m. So it basically tells me that all the systems are running fine. It tells me that it just checks all the boxes and makes sure that operationally everything is looking good. This morning I asked it a question. I asked, is there anything in my inbox that I need to be aware of? So he replied back and said, no, it's pretty clear right now. Just one unread message, which wasn't really that important. It's interesting because I also asked through my phone. I asked what's the current version of OpenClaw that we're running, and it didn't show my message here because that message initiated from the phone, but it did show the response that Cooper gave me back. So here I can also do other things, like for example, I could say, what is on my schedule for tomorrow? So, and these are the kind of things I want to do eventually with the Walkie-Talkie. But so right now I'm just going to send that command to Cooper. It's going to go through Telegram. It's going to encrypt it, go through the Telegram servers, and it's going to end up in my Cooper Tars Mac Mini. So let's just wait a second here for the response. It's going to process. And I can do I can ask it to check my inbox. I can ask it to check my calendar. So it looks like it's responding back right now. It's pretty cool, not bad, right? Here's your schedule for tomorrow. I have gym at 6:30 in the morning. I have work in the morning. I have lunch with my lovely wife at noon tomorrow. And then I have scheduled to publish a Substack post. So it's a nice way to get quick, easy access to my calendar. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you the second way that I can connect to Cooper Tars. So this is through Telegram. Let's go ahead and minimize this right now. The other way is using a remote control software that I have called Jump Desktop. There's other ones you can use, but this is the one I like, and it was easy to configure, and it's secure and practical enough for me. So I have a connection here to Cooper's Mac Mini. This is connected now to the actual hardware. So if I launch this, now you see that I'm in the Mac, right? And you can see I'm in OpenClaw right now. This is called the Gateway Dashboard or the OpenClaw UI. So this is the other way I can communicate directly with Cooper. And I can say, Cooper, let's just ask him, what is the current version? But let's see what is the current version. But I want to ask more detailed questions. I say, and what are some of the highlighted benefits. Highlighted benefits. All right, so let's see what Cooper says. So it's the same thing that if I were to send this directly through Telegram, but I'm doing it directly to the UI right now. So you can see it's executing. And while I'm waiting for the response, other things you can do on this directly in the Mac Mini, you can actually use the terminal. And the terminal is where you actually configure. I'll be making videos on this eventually, but just want to give you a quick preview on that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pause this while I wait for Cooper to respond. So I just got a notification right here on Telegram. It looks like it actually responded. So while I'm waiting for it here, oh, look, I think it's not here, but let's just open Telegram. So, wow, this is pretty impressive. Current version, if this is where I'm at right now. Oh, I see. It actually understood what is the current version. It's pretty smart, right? You just have to ask better questions. It understood what is the current version that I'm running. What I meant to say is what is the latest version. So let's try that. What is the latest version? And you can speak very naturally to it, is what I meant to say. Okay, while it's doing that, let's flip back over to Telegram. So here's some of the highlights and benefits of version 3.7. Pretty impressive. And I like the way it lays it out for me. Okay, so it looks like it came back. It looks like the latest version is 3.13, specifically v2026.3.13-1, which is a recovery release published about 3 days ago. And I'm currently in 3.7. So I'm 6 patch versions behind, so I should probably be taking care of that soon. Anyways, I don't want to get too deep into the rabbit hole here. I just wanted to show you that there are 2 ways that you can connect to Cooper-Tars right now. One is through Telegram, and the other one is directly through the dashboard. What we're about to do now is add a third one, the Rabbit R1. Where's that guy? The Rabbit R1. We're going to add a third channel now, what I'm calling a dedicated walkie-talkie to Cooper-Tars. Same agent, same capabilities, same security, just a new dedicated line, like a bat phone. Well, maybe it's a lobster phone. We'll come up with a better name for it. All right, let's get into the main reason that we're all here, right? Which is to give Cooper-Tars a walkie-talkie, a way to speak to it, to give it voice commands. So before we touch anything, let's minimize a couple of things here. First thing we want to do is we want to verify the current state. We want to make sure the gateway is running. We can see right here it's running. I got the control panel running here, and I can see that it's running. But another way that you can check is you can actually open the terminal, and you can just do something like OpenClaw gateway status. You can run that command, and you can see a bunch of stuff here running. Let's take a look here. It shows okay, so everything's running. Everything seems to be running properly. So let's go ahead and minimize this. I do want to back up my config before we start and before we make any changes, because that's just good practice. Anytime you're adding a new integration or making any major changes to your OpenClaw configuration, it's just good to go ahead and back up your config file. Okay, I confirmed that the backup was completed successfully. There was some non-real issues here. Threw a couple of errors, but according to case, nothing to be concerned about. Those aren't real problems. Backups still work for everything that matters. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Now here's where I'm going to do something a little different than most other tutorials. Rabbit gives you a one-liner to connect to the R1 directly to OpenClaw. So let's go to their website real quick. Let's take a look. Okay, let me move myself out of the way here so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so this is how I found out about the integration with the Rabbit R1 device and OpenClaw. I also saw a couple of short YouTube videos, some expos, but I came directly to the source to learn more about it. And this is something I'm a little disappointed at. They don't have a whole lot of documentation on this. It's just a blog post with 2 commands, a terminal command for the Mac and a terminal command for Windows. And this is a short video here. It's about two minutes long. But the person is actually just walking through running the command, and he's telling us that they don't support it, that we're basically on our own, excuse me. And if we have any issues, we should contact OpenClaw directly. Not a whole lot of documentation anyway. So this is where I got the command. But what I did is I did a little research myself. And so basically this command is a curl command. It downloads the script directly from their website. And yeah, I get it. It's convenient. A lot of these demos, like even with OpenClaw, oh, just run this one command and things automatically start running. I don't roll that way. I'm not piping random scripts into Bash on the machine that runs my agent, not without reading it first. And I don't think you should do that either. Remember, everything that we do here at the Cooper logs starts with the security first mindset. Okay, so instead of piping it directly, I'm actually going to download it. So let's head over to the Mac Mini. I'm still connected to my Jump desktop. So let's open up the terminal. So I actually got this command here. I'll share it in the notes as well. So instead of running it, I'm actually going to download it. So let me paste this here. So it's another curl command, but it's going to actually go to the Rabbit Tech website and it's going to download the file. So let's do that. It looks like it pulled it down already. Now let's open the script and let's take a look at what this actually does. I'm going to go ahead and enter another command here. I'll share this in the notes as well. So this is actually going to open the file. So let's take a look. Let's expand this a little bit and just read through it real quick. All right, so it's a JSON file. Gateway settings, authentication. So I'm just looking for anything that might be a red flag or anything that I should be concerned about. Okay, everything looks good. I don't see anything that I should be concerned about. It's pretty straightforward. It looks like at this point it's gonna wait for the auto proof. This is probably where it does the pairing. Okay. Again, the goal of this exercise is not really to go through it line by line. It's really to go take a look and see what it installs, what it changes, see if it touches any networkings, any credentials. So I do see where it binds to the LAN right here. There's an authentication token, which is expected. Everything looks reasonable to me. No surprises, nothing suspicious. So I think I'm comfortable running it. So let's go ahead and execute it. Okay, so I just copied the bash command. Let's go back to the terminal here. Let's go ahead and clear the screen. I just want to start from scratch. So we have a clean slate here. So let's go ahead and paste this bash command. And let's go ahead and run it. All right, so let's see what's happening here. Using the CLI, this script will configure, tells you what it's going to do. This is good. We'll configure your gateway for LAN access. Bind gateway to all network interfaces. This allows connections from other devices on your local network, okay? This is intended for home networks only, of course. This enables token authentication, requires a secret token to connect, preventing unauthorized access, generates reuse and authentication token, yep. Enable insecure auth for the control UI, allows the control UI to connect to the gateway without HTTPS. Not sure about that. I think I'm gonna have to investigate this a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I actually paused the video here for the recording for a few minutes because I really wanted to study this. This is the reason why we're doing this. We don't want to just run things blindly. So I'm going to explain to you what each of these 4 items are. So number 1 is saying to bind the gateway to, it's basically binding to 0.0.0.0, which is making OpenClaw gateway accessible from other devices in my local network. And without this, only my Mac Mini will be able to talk to the gateway. With this, the R1 will be able to connect when I'm connected locally, which is fine. Number 2 is enabling token authentication. This adds a shared secret token. This is how it's going to authenticate. So this is good. This is a real security control. So I'm fine with that. And number 3 is actually generating and reusing the token. It just reuses the secret key. Nothing really risky here, but which I was fine with before. What really gave me pause was this number 4. Enable insecure auth. Remember, everything that we do here, it's with a security first mindset, right? So what it turns out that I was actually, my gateway was already running insecure, which is fine, I guess, because it's running in my local network. What this means is that the control UI will connect through HTTP instead of HTTPS. Now in my day job, I'm always telling application teams, everything needs to be secure, not just HTTPS, but the latest TLS version, TLS 1.3 if possible, but TLS 1.2 at minimum, right? So of course I hesitated when I saw that there was an insecure connection to the gateway. But really, in reality, is this really risky? Not really, because like I said, my Mac Mini is part of my home network. There's no public exposure. I can access it securely through Jump Desktop, and token auth is required. So the risk is very, very low. So I'm okay with this. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run the script. Don't really see any issues with this. But again, one of the things that the script is doing is enabling it, enabling something that's called insecure auth for the control UI. So I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. Let's go ahead and hit yes. And let's see what happens here. Using existing auth token. It's running through all those steps that I just explained. Config token differs from service token. The daemon will use the old token after restart. Configuration complete. Aha! Here's what we wanted. Here's Willy Wonka's golden ticket. This is what we were after. All right, so we got to the QR code, which is, we're almost there. We're like 90% of the way there. Let me take a look at this real quick. Okay, this is a very pivotal point right now. This is where we actually established the connection. So let me grab the R1. Here's the R1 device. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bit of glare on this coming from the window, but the way you get to this on the R1 after you update to the latest, it's actually going to ask you it tells you to swipe left, right? And then it's going to actually ask for the QR codes. So here's waiting for the connection. I'm going to pause the video. I'm getting a little excited here. I'm going to pause the video because I want to actually set up my iPhone so I can get a good angle here so you can see how I do the pairing between the screen and the R1 device. Okay, I'm on my iPhone now. Let's take a look at this. So I got the device here ready to go. Here's my Rabbit R1. I'm going to click to scan, and I'm going to scan it this time. Let's make sure we position this right. Waiting for approval. Accept pending request from gateway. Click to scan. I think it's already set up. Hey, look at that. There's a lobster on my R1 device. That wasn't there before. Okay, I think it's done. Device approved successfully. Woohoo! We did it. Yay! And just like that, we have a third channel connected. Before we get too excited, let's run a few quick checks to make sure that everything is still healthy. I want to run a couple commands here on the terminal just to make sure everything looks good. First, we're going to run this OpenClaw gateway status. I know we just did this a few minutes ago, but just to make sure before I proceed with the demo, OpenClaw gateway status. Yep, everything looks as expected. Let's confirm that the device is properly paired. Let's make sure that the R1 Rabbit device is still connected to OpenClaw. So for that, we're going to run this this command that we ran before. It's called OpenClaw devices list. And let's go ahead and run this here. Let's clear the terminal one more time so you can see it clearly. Okay, so that's the Rabbit R1 still connected, still operating fine. And finally, I want to do a couple of checks with the Google authentication piece, which is what's given me the most headaches so far working with this whole OpenClaw integration. This is really important to me because this is what most of my use cases revolve around, Google authentication. So let's run this command first. Okay, what this is actually going to do right now is actually going to pull all the labels from my email. Okay, so that's working. That means that the gateway is still connected to my Google Workspace. I'm going to do one more check here. I think that's fine. It's connected to Google. All right, so I think we're all good here. All right, so let's see if this thing actually works. This is the moment of truth now. Okay, let's run a couple tests right now on the Rabbit R1 device. Let's just do some basic communication tests. So one thing I want to show you right now, when you see the lobster, that means you're in the OpenClaw agent channel. If you slide over to the left, you're in the Rabbit channel. So this is what the standard Rabbit interface does. And to be honest with you, it doesn't really work that well for me. It's kind of lame, to be honest. But when the OpenClaw integration, it's really what I'm interested in testing out right here. So let's just do a quick test. Hey, what's the current time?
Hey, R1. The current time is 9:39 p.m. CDT, Central Daylight Time, on Wednesday, March 18th, 2026.
So that's one thing I don't like about the way it responds to me. It calls me R1. It should be calling me Jamie because I'm the operator, but we'll be looking into that a little bit later. I'll probably write a blog post about how you can change that setting. Let's do one more thing. Cooper, what's one thing you have learned about working with me so far? Me, Jamie, not R1. What is your favorite thing about working with a human? Let's see what it comes back with.
Hey, R1. That's a thoughtful question. What I've learned about working with Jaime, he doesn't accept excuses or human-style explanations from me. Today was a perfect example. When I said I misinterpreted something, he immediately called it out. When an AI agent says things like, I misinterpreted something, we humans tend to lose trust. He's right. I'm not supposed to misinterpret. I'm supposed to check logs, verify state, and admit when I don't know something. He's teaching me to be precise, not plausible. He catches patterns I don't see in myself. Today, I made 6 failures, all following the same route, claiming things without verification. He saw that thread and made me document it. My favorite thing about working with a human, specifically Jaime, the accountability. He won't let me get away with sloppy thinking, even when it would be easier. When I created check logs don't guess rules at 2:19 p.m. and then violated them hours later, he caught it and made me face it. That's not comfortable, but it's valuable. He's building me to be reliable, not just responsive. He cares enough to correct me when I'm wrong, even after a long day of my failures. That's the partnership. Human at the helm, machine at the ready. He holds the helm, I do the work, but he won't let me do mediocre work. That's what makes it meaningful. Today was rough, but I learned more today than in weeks of smooth operation. That's the difference a human makes.
Wow, what an answer. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. That was the first time I heard that. So I just tried to come up with a pretty clever, thoughtful question that only Cooper would know. And that's not something the Rabbit device would have answered on its own. Okay, let's do a quick reality check. This was not plug and play. I actually ran into a few issues getting this fully working. I ran into some gateway binding problems. I ran into token mismatches. The R1 was just not connecting very cleanly. It took a lot of effort to get this to work. And at one point, I even broke my Google Workspace integration. So yeah, this got a little messy. Now, I didn't include all of that in this video because it would have turned this video into a 45-minute troubleshooting session. But if you're curious about what actually went wrong, every command, every error message, every what just happened moment, and every fix, I actually did something really cool. I wrote a full breakdown on the Cooper logs, which is what you're looking at right now. So this will be published soon on by the time this video gets published, you'll see it. It's an article called The Surgery That Gave Cooper Tars a Voice. Very appropriate, right? So I'll link it in the description below so you can check it out. But if this is something that you are seriously considering doing, there's some really valuable lessons here. So I strongly suggest that you check it out. All right, everything is working now. And honestly, this is what building real AI system looks like. So let's see it in action now. All right, let's push this a little bit further now. Let's do some real tests. Let's see some real use cases. Let's see what the real value of having a voice first device actually looks like. So let me first bring up my calendar. So I'm going to bring up my Google Calendar, because remember, my Cooper my agent is actually connected to my whole Google Workspace. It's integrated. So what I want to do now is a basic test. So here's my R1 device. So we already know that basic communication is working. We tested that already. But a little bit earlier, we asked the device what the time was. So we know it's connected. And I also asked it a very pointed question about something that Cooper would only know about me. And he answered what it was like working with a human. So now let's do some practical use cases. I'm going to ask Cooper through the R1 device. I'm going to ask, what's on my calendar for tomorrow? Hey Cooper, what's on my calendar for tomorrow? Can you give me a detailed overview of what's on my schedule for Monday? Okay, so it took the command. Let me bring it closer to the mic so you can hear it.
Let me check your calendar for tomorrow, Monday, March 23rd. Hey Jamie, here's your Monday, March 23rd. Morning, 6:30, 7:30 a.m. Gym at CrossFit Resurgence. Start the day strong. Workday, 8 nows a.m. 12 p.m. Deep work block focused on cyber. 4 hours. 1 Yurtadas, 5 Yurtas p.m. Another deep work block for cyber. Narat, 4 hours. Evening, 6 Hirt or 8 p.m. AI research and work on the Cooper logs, 2 hours. Overall vibe, this is a focused Monday. You've got your gym session to kick things off, then 8 solid hours of deep work split into morning and afternoon blocks, followed by evening time for AI research and Cooper logs work. It's a Monday that honors your unshakable OS. You're moving, gym. You've protected deep work time, and you're home with structured blocks. Aligned, not chaotic. Anything you want me to adjust or prep for?
No, I think we're good. Thank you, Cooper. Appreciate that. So this is really cool. So it didn't only read me my calendar for tomorrow, but it kind of gave me his own editorial content, right? It knew about my philosophy, my Quiet OS principles. It's pretty cool. So it added some context of its own. So it's not just a readout. It actually thought about some things on its own. Pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at another practical use case. Okay, let's do another test now. This is going to be a task execution test. So the previous test, it was just reading information. Now I wanted to execute and do something. So I'm going to actually ask Cooper to create a calendar event for me. Let's see what happens here. So you see my calendar on the screen right now. So I'm going to press the push talk here. Cooper, create a calendar event for this coming Thursday at 12 p.m. Let's call it Lunch with Ted, and let's make it 2 hours. Okay, it's going to receive the command right now. I want you to take a look at the screen. So if you're looking at the screen right now for Thursday the 26th, I want you to see my hands are both up. Oh, there it is. It just added it. Lunch with Ted. Now, if you notice, it didn't quite...
that calendar event for you. Lunch with Ted on Thursday, March 27th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Wait, I need to correct that.
That's what I was about to say that.
March 27th, but you asked for Thursday. Let me delete that and create it for the correct day. Thursday, March 26th.
Impressive.
Perfect. Created Lunch with Ted for Thursday, March 26th, 12 p.m., 2 p.m., 2 hours. The incorrect Friday event has been removed. You're all set.
Thank you, Cooper. Wow, I couldn't have asked for a more perfect demo than this. That was not intentional. So I asked Cooper to create an event for Thursday, and you saw it in the screen, and it popped up for Friday. And just right before I was about to correct it, Cooper actually caught the error and corrected himself. That's pretty impressive. And then you saw that the event automatically got edited for Thursday. This is the kind of execution that, so yes, it did commit an error, but I've been training Cooper to autocorrect, and he did a fine job just now doing that. Not bad. I'm very impressed. All right, so one more test. For this last test, I actually want to ask Cooper something big. I want him to perform a big task for me. So I'm going to ask Cooper to solve a very specific problem that I've been having, and it has to do with memory. It has to do with his own memory. It's a big issue I've been having. So if you take a look at my Cooper Logs publication, the last few articles I've written mention a little bit about this. And the issue is that he kind of forgets stuff. So the agent is very helpful, is extremely useful, but from time to time he forgets stuff. Not really his fault. It's just the way these agents are designed. But I love solving big problems, and this is what I'm training my agent to do. So why not ask him this huge task? So I'm actually going to give him a multi-step task and see how he does. Let's give it a shot. Hey Cooper, how you doing? I have a big favor to ask you. I want you to solve this big problem for me. I'm going to give you a series of tasks to complete. So it has to do with memory. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to read the last 3 articles that I published on the Cooper Logs. I believe you have access to my Substack. I want you to focus on the memory issues that I talk about. Secondly, I want you to try to solve this problem using OpenBrain, which is a framework. It's a solution that was created by Nate B. Jones. I want you to research all you can about OpenBrain and search the web and find everything you can about it. Third, I want you to create an implementation plan. And I also want you to incorporate how this is going to work into your solution. I want you to write a full report. I want that report to include an executive summary, an implementation plan, and a benefit summary. I'll also add potential costs. And also, if possible, I want you to list any potential gotchas that you may run into. And then lastly, I want you to create a report in Google Drive. I want you to upload it to your own Google Drive in a Google Doc format. And then lastly, I want you to email it to me. Do you think you can do that for me? Before you execute, can you walk back through all the steps that I gave you? I want to make sure you understood what the task is. Okay, let's see how well he does. So it's a lot of information, so I expect him to take a minute or two to process this.
Absolutely, Jamie.
Well, that was faster than I thought.
Let me walk back through what you've asked me to do. The big picture: solve a memory problem by researching and implementing a solution using OpenBrain by Nate B. Jones. Step-by-step breakdown. 1. Read the last 3 Cooper Logs articles on Substack, focusing specifically on the memory issues you discuss in them. 2. Research OpenBrain thoroughly.
Something happened. Looks like he got... Oh, there it goes.
Create an implementation plan. Design how OpenBrain will solve the memory problems you've identified, incorporating how it will work with my current setup. 4. Write a comprehensive report that includes executive summary, implementation plan, how to deploy it, benefits summary, what this solves, potential costs, financial resource requirements, potential gotchas, risks, blockers, complications. 5. Create the report as a Google Doc in Cooper's Drive, cprtarsigmail.com. 6. Email the final report to you at jamiecloudtivity.co. Confirmation questions before I start. Do you want this report today, or is there a deadline? Should I prioritize depth of research or speed of delivery? Any specific memory issues I should emphasize beyond what's in the articles? Ready to proceed once you confirm.
Thank you, Cooper. I appreciate that. And thank you for the very thorough questions that you just asked me. I want you to balance depth of research and speed of delivery, because I'm actually recording a video right now. I'm actually demoing how you can do this. So I'd like to have that report today if possible. Is there any way you can tell me roughly how long it could take? Minutes, hours? Just to get an idea. Thanks. It's like talking to a real person, to a consultant.
Great question, Jamie. And this is a perfectest demo scenario. Time estimate, 45-60 minutes total.
Okay.
Here's the breakdown. 10 to 15 min. Read the 3 Cooper Logs articles and identify memory issues. 10-15 min. Research OpenBrain thoroughly. Web searches, documentation. 15-20 min. Analyze and create implementation plan. 15-20 min. Write the comprehensive report. 5 min. Create Google Doc and email it to you. So roughly 1 hour from now, around 4:45 5 p.m., you should have the full report in your inbox. I'm balancing thoroughness with speed. The research will be solid, but I won't go down every rabbit hole. The report will be actionable and complete.
Was that a pun?
Starting now, I'll work through this systematically and get it to you as soon as it's ready. You'll see the email hit your inbox when it's done. Good luck with the video.
Thanks, Cooper. Appreciate that. Wow, that was impressive. It exceeded my expectations. So according to Cooper, that report should be ready in about an hour. And in reality, if that was something that I would have done or a human could have done on its own, this could have taken weeks. So I'm asking it to solve a very specific problem that a lot of people on the web are trying to solve right now. Nate B. Jones, he's got his own Substack, which I'll probably link here as well. He created something called OpenBrain, which I'm really interested in. So let's see how well the report turns out, and let's see if it can solve my problem. I'm excited. I'm gonna keep shooting the video, keep moving forward, and hopefully by the time before I finish editing the video, I can share that report with you. So there you have it. That was a pretty great demo of a multitask execution on the Rabbit device using voice first, which is the most amazing thing. That's really the big benefit for me. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, we're back. I took a little coffee break, and it's been almost an hour. It's actually an hour and 10 minutes, so it took a little longer, 10 minutes longer. But very impressed. I just sat back on my computer, opened up my email, and look what I just got from Cooper Tars. Yes, he does have his own email. Like I said before, he's got his own account. He's fully autonomous. So I just got an email from Cooper. I'm afraid to open it because I'm afraid to embarrass myself here. But let's take a look. It looks like Cooper said it was going to come around 4:45. It came in at 4:54. Not bad. It's an email. I haven't opened this yet, so this is going to be a real-time surprise here for everyone. This is the OpenBrain implementation report, multi-agent memory solution. Let's see what Cooper says. Hi, Jamie. I've completed the comprehensive OpenBrain implementation report you requested. This analyzes the memory issues documented in the Cooper's logs and proposes a complete solution using the Nate B. Jones OpenBrain framework. Here's the report. Here's what's inside. Bottom line, OpenBrain solves the cross-platform memory fragmentation problem for 10 cents a month. Not too bad. My recommendation, proceed with implementation. The report is 31,000 words. Wow, how much McKinsey or one of the big five would have charged me for that? Total project time, 1 hour. It actually broke down how much time it took in each step. This is very impressive. I'm very impressed. All right, let's see the actual report. Now, before I click this link, I've had problems in the past where Cooper would create a document for me and it would give me like a blank document. So don't be surprised if this is blank. This is an ongoing issue I've had. So I'm afraid to open it. Here we go. Let's open the Google Doc. Oh, interesting. It's because this is on Cooper's Drive. It looks like I need to request access. Okay, let's do that. Let's request access as a viewer. I like this. That means security is working as expected. All right, so this email would have went to Cooper. I'm going to pause the video because I'm going to go to Cooper's machine. Remember, he has his own machine. And I'm going to check his email because he's going to have to approve it. I haven't given him permission yet to approve things like this, so I'm going to have to give him a hand. So let me pause the video and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm inside Cooper's Mac Mini right now. Let me bring this over to the screen so you can see it. I use Jump Desktop to go into the Mac Mini. Oh, look, it looks like I got some comments from some of my Cooper Logs posts. I'll take a look at those in a moment. So let's open this email. Jamie Velez is requesting view access. So I'm going to share it. And that should give me the access that I need. So let's go back to my email over here. Let me minimize this. Let me close that. Let's go back to the email. Let's open the report, a moment of truth. Let's see how useful and helpful Cooper Tars is. Here's the report. It's open in the report. What did it say it had? Like 33. Holy cow. Wow. Okay, so it's got some formatting issues. But this looks like a lot of info. Wow. Here's my, whoa, it even gave me some flows. This is super impressive. I gotta say, this demo way exceeded my expectation. This was not rehearsed. It was not scripted. It was not planned. It was real time. All right, so there you see it. There you have it. That was a pretty complex multi-step task that I gave to Cooper Task, and he executed in almost exactly the same amount of time that he estimated, almost an hour. So fantastic, great demo. All right, let's wrap things up here. All right, we just did a lot. We did a lot of cool demos, but let's actually talk about what this actually is. And let's talk about what this is not either. Because I think there's a lot of hype around the Rabbit R1 and OpenClaw, but I want to give you my real honest take. What this is. This is a dedicated, secure walkie-talkie to an AI agent, nothing more. But there's something generally different about picking up a device and just talking to it versus opening an app and typing. I think it's helpful for quick commands, checking your calendar, creating an event, asking a question. It's faster, simpler, and more natural. It works the way you expect a walkie-talkie to work, but with someone really smart on the other side. Now let's talk about what this thing is not. This is not a capability upgrade. Cooper Tars is exactly as smart and exactly as capable as he was before I connected him to the R1. Same model, same tools, same integration, just as capable. This is just a new communication channel, not a brain upgrade. That's all it is, a new communication channel. Now, is this thing worth $199? Well, that depends on what you value. If you're already running OpenClaw agent like I was, and you want a dedicated voice interface, or if you're a content creator and you like the physical interaction, then yeah, I think it's worth it. But if you're just looking for the most practical way to interact with your agent, especially when you're not at your computer, I think Telegram is the way to go. Telegram on your phone is honestly hard to beat. One more thing I want to say about the R1 device. This is actually running right now on alpha software. Rabbit labels it that way, and it shows. You saw some of the issues that I ran into. This isn't fully polished yet, and you should expect some rough edges like I did, like I experienced. I wouldn't build any serious critical workflows around this just yet, but as an additional channel to your agent, it's a solid addition. I give it a thumbs up. So what's next for Cooper Tars? Well, first I want to run a 30-day experiment with the R1 device and see if this actually helps me become more productive and more focused on my day today. That's what's really personally important to me, and that's why I gave Cooper Tars a walkie-talkie so I can talk to him directly, especially when I'm driving or if I'm not at my computer. If you read any of my stuff on my personal blog, which is jamievelez.net, I'll put a link below so you can check it out. You know that I'm all about something that I call calm productivity. That's what I'm all about. So I want to see if the R1, or what I'm starting to call Cooper's walkie-talkie, can actually help me achieve calm productivity. And who knows, maybe I'll even start a TikTok channel just to document the 30-day experiment in real time. If I do, I'll put the link below as well. If you found this useful, please hit subscribe. And if you're building your own OpenClaw setup, or if you already connected your R1 device to your own agent like I did, drop a comment below. Let me know how it went. I'd love to hear about your experience, and I'm curious how your experience compares to mine. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.